What's going on in the brain when people pray or meditate? Hi, I'm Dr. Ruth, the Pain Doc, founder of Chronic Pain Rescue, a telehealth coaching practice dedicated to helping people who suffer from chronic pain to live pain-less lives and to live their best lives possible. I was recently interviewed by a Dr. Sarah Merritt. She's a great interventional pain specialist located in Bowie, Maryland, and I said something that I actually didn't believe, and I felt I needed to correct it. I didn't correct it during the interview, and I figured I should at least make sure I correct it out there in the virtual world. I said something to the effect that science didn't validate spiritual experiences or spirituality. That it wasn't exactly those words, but the truth is there is scientific evidence to support the effectiveness of prayer and or meditation. And I wanted to make sure that I put this information out there. It may not be very popular an issue, but I think that people with chronic pain should know that there are spiritual interventions that may really make a difference for them and they should explore. And the information I'm getting is basically from the NPR All Things Considered podcast. I'm not sure when it was dated, but just to say this is where I got this information, but I have seen other sources as well. There's an Andrew Newberg, who is a neuroscientist at the University of Pennsylvania. He has been studying brains while people are praying for upwards of 20 years. So what he will do is while someone is praying, he'll inject a dye and which monitors the blood flow and seeing on a SPECT scan where the blood flow or where the brain is active during prayer. And what was found consistently with everyone is that their frontal lobe, the areas of their frontal lobe, which has to do with cognition, which has to do with focus, those are the areas that become active. And as you know, many times with chronic pain, you really cannot think. You lose the ability to concentrate and focus. So this actually counters that. And if you think our brains are neuroplastic, there's neuroplasticity. So our brains can change depending on input, depending on activities. And prayer, prolonged prayer, because these are people praying 2 hours and more a day, definitely was associated with the areas of the brain for cognition and for focus. There's another scientist, neuroscientist at the University of Wisconsin, Richard Davidson. He has studied people during meditation, either Tibetan monks or Franciscan nuns praying or Sikhs chanting, all found that their sensation was that they experience a oneness, a sense of oneness with the universe and feeling a part of something greater as opposed to being alone and separate. And what's interesting is that not only is the cognitive area of the brain, the frontal lobe, active, but the parietal lobe during meditation or prayer becomes inactive. And the parietal lobe is responsible for our sense of separateness, our sense of being ourselves and alone, so that the correlation is that while meditating or while praying, that separation of self with others becomes blurry. One thing is that studies have shown people who pray on a regular basis or meditate on a regular basis that they have more calm and that they're more able to cope with stressful situations. So that's just something to keep in mind. You know, you can exercise and shape your brain to what you want, just like you can go to the gym and exercise your muscles and sculpt them to be what you want. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share. And it doesn't require necessarily praying 2 hours a day or meditating 2 hours a day. They've shown studies where there was a 2-week study where people listened to meditative, affirmations for 30 minutes. And they actually did experience these types of changes in their brain as well as in their sensations. And there was a study, a 2-month study, that they could actually find systematic changes to the brain and also to the immune system. It actually helps improve their immunity. So I just wanted to share this information. If you don't have a practice, a spiritual practice, or if you'd like to try something, there's the Healthy Mind app that was created by Dr. Richard Davidson, which is a free app. You can find it at 𝐩𝐚𝐢𝐳-innovations.org and give it a try. Until next time, peace and blessings.